What's good, everybody? Hinterland in Vegas here. Want to talk about Micheal Vick being hired at Norfolk State University. First and foremost, I believe that it's a good look for the HBCU community and for Norfolk State. And the reason for that is because of the fact that it's going to bring in a lot of resources and a lot of media attention. We already done a good job at that within the first week of bringing everybody into the conversation. I've been seeing so many different clips online from different shows, mainstream podcasts. Everybody in the sports world has been talking about it. And, you know, for those that don't believe that Vic will make a difference at the school, if you would have brought in another coach, I'm going to just give an example of some guys that's out there. Like, let's say somebody like Sam Shade or Fred McNair, and there's plenty of other qualified guys out there, from an X and O standpoint. But here's the thing: ESPN gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Radio stations outside of Virginia is not gonna talk about it. Matter of fact, not past Williamsburg. You know what I'm saying? You know, so like, you got everybody talking about it, man, from different media outlets, right then and there. Vic is a native of Newport News, Virginia. Uh, he's connected to a lot of guys that's played professional and at a collegiate level, um, and also coached on those levels as well. So I'm pretty sure maybe one or two guys at the least. He already has one guy in Elton Brown. And for those who don't know who Elton Brown is a former offensive guard that went to Warwick Heritage, and he finished out at Hampton before going to UVA. Basically, an all-world lineman. Played a few years in the league for the Arizona Cardinals, and then he transitioned to coaching. I'm not sure to the extent of his coaching background. The little that I do know is that he was at Warwick and he was at Apprentice most recently. So I'm not sure if he's going to be the O line coach or at another position on the squad. From a coaching standpoint. But getting guys like that could be a good thing because they made it to every level that you can in this business and in this sport, and it can relate to a kid coming from the 757. And for those that don't understand what the 757 is, let's start with that. The 757 extends from up on the eastern shore of Virginia, at the Maryland border, and it goes all the way down to like eastern North Carolina, and it stretches outwards towards Williamsburg, and that makes it a top 10 in size of a metropolitan area. We're one of the largest that don't have a major sports team. So essentially, potentially Norfolk State, depending upon the success in the long run, depending upon if Vic is there for the long haul, this could be the replacement factor, a la like a Alabama or a team like that, like Iowa, in a place that doesn't have a sports team. Now, I'm being realistic. I'm not saying that Norfolk State is automatically going to be like a SEC team or like a Big Ten team or nothing like that because they're in the FCS subdivision. What I'm saying is this: the profile is being raised. The 757 has, they won't have the most players out there, but the type of quality that we have is one of the best. And I'm not just talking about on the East Coast, I'm talking about the entire nation. Like, we have not the most in quantity, but the best in quality. We're like that boutique shop that, the little bougie soccer moms go to, and we get the fine priced items. That's what the 757 athlete is. Um, it's something in the water, literally, like at the festival. That's real talk. If you want to go back even further in history, there's some people out there that were called the Maroons, and they were never captured. A lot of those kids, fast forward a couple hundred years, are descendants of those people. So, and then you got to also consider the fact of military. You get a lot of guys that come in from the military here. If you're in the military, 7, 8 times out of 10, you're athletic. You're probably gonna have athletic kids. You see what I'm saying? And the military has committed greatly to the 757 transfer portal. We invented the transfer portal, people. I'm not gonna say who, which schools. Everybody that's around here know what I'm talking about. But all jokes aside, this is a great look for Norfolk State. We haven't had somebody of this caliber at the helm. You know, the best coach I can remember of recent memory was P. Adrian. P. Adrian had mixed results. The guy that's before Vic, I forget his name, but he used to be a coach at Southern University, and he's a good coach. I nicknamed him and some other people Big Worm because the resemblance. But here's the thing: you could take somebody like I'm gonna use like Sam Shade for example, or Dr. Alvin Parker, who I believe is at Virginia Union. He did a great job, by the way, this year. But it's just a thing where if you're not from this area, it's a special case. If you're not from this area, you are already way behind in recruiting. And I'm in an ODU. Look at ODU. They got some guy, that was coaching at Penn State, Ricky Ronnie, and they gotten better since the coach Bobby Wilder days, but they're still far behind even in state to like JMU and Virginia Tech because of the fact they even I think they even a little bit behind UVA a little bit, but they're definitely behind Liberty. And the reason being is because you gotta have somebody that can relate to these kids, man. The 757, we iconic. We iconic people, bro. Look at Vic, look at Iverson. You know, those people transcended past their sport and became on the same level like a Deion Sanders. And what I mean by that, they were icons. In other words, they were cool and they influenced the culture within that sport. And if you know the guys that's from this area, we had that type of demeanor about us, where we just our own people, man. We don't care what New York got to say. We don't care what ATL got to say. We don't care what they got going on in DC. We just do our own thing. But on the other side of that, we don't really have a true culture because again we got a melting pot of different people coming in and out, so we do take influences from those areas I just mentioned as well. So I say that to say this, with Vic, he's going to be able, and I'm sure whoever's on his staff is going to come in, and he ain't really got to say much. He got to show up. And Vic, he's like a more on the quiet side to the public guy. um But when he, gets around the kid, the kid don't know him, which I highly doubt. Their parents know him. And for those that saying like the kids today don't know who Vic is, they know more of them know about Vic than they do about a lot of these other coaches out here, and especially in the FCS. Because like I said, there's no disrespect to any coach that I mentioned, because the coach I mentioned are excellent coaches, and they deserve to be coaching at the ranks. I'm just trying to to point out that when you got a special case like Norfolk State in the Hampton Roads area, you got to have a man of the people like Vic to be that beacon of light, where a guy that's a fringe 4-star that, they might end up going to JMU, UVA, Virginia Tech, or Maryland. A lot of cases now, these guys are going to like Maryland and Pittsburgh and places like that, East Carolina, and they're like, you know what? Nah, I want to go home to the crib. I want to go home to the crib. So I just want to leave these few thoughts out for everybody just to think about. I didn't even mention like how many advertisements that could come through that bring in money into the community and school, and then like it's gonna be a hot box ticket item, man, just to get into the game. It's a lot of money that's about to come up in here. So that's my time for right now. I'm Hinterland of Vegas. Feel free to leave a comment. Follow my page at, Jarrell Bonds or Static Mike. I'm Hinterland of Vegas everywhere else. And y'all have a good Friday. I'm out.